Controversy in the world of golf, as some of the best in the world are leaving the PGA Tour in favor of the Saudi-backed LIV tournament and a massive payday. The golfers are facing intense scrutiny from critics who are citing Saudi Arabia's human rights record and calling on the athletes to take a stand. This as President Biden prepares to head to the region and perhaps meet with the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia, who's very controversial. Now, perhaps the most outspoken among the critics, and rightly so, the families of the victims of the September 11th terror attacks. Joining me now to discuss, Terry Strada. She is the chair of 9/11 Families United. Terry, thank you for coming back to the program.
Great. Well, thank you for having me.
Terry, your husband was killed on 9/11. This has been a 20-year crusade for you, for justice for the families and the victims. The president promised during his campaign that Saudi Arabia would be treated as a pariah. Do you think he's keeping his promise?
I think things have changed. And because of the changes we're seeing, it is necessary for him to go over there. And whether I agree with that or not on a personal level, he's going. And now that he's made this decision, it's my job to tell him how important it is to keep our efforts and our fight against the Saudis, as a #1 priority when he meets with them, that it's a long overdue conversation that needs to be had.
The White House confirmed that Biden would meet with the Crown Prince. Then Biden told the press yesterday that he wasn't meeting with him. He kind of downplayed that. Are you concerned that Biden going over there, ostensibly begging for oil, trying to deal with a number of other regional issues, is going to take precedence over your issue and the issues affecting the 9/11 families?
Well, I certainly hope not. I mean, that is why we keep pounding the White House that our efforts, our arguments, our issue with the kingdom, the fact that they are responsible for killing 3,000 people on American soil on September 11th needs to be addressed. There's never been any accountability. We've never had any remorse from that country, anything from them at all. And things are a little different with this administration than they were with past administrations. President Biden signed an executive order last September demanding that the DOJ go back and do a review declassification of all these documents regarding the kingdom. And now that that has happened, there are thousands of pages of evidence that strongly confirm the level of involvement that the kingdom had in murdering my husband and nearly 3,000 others.
Yeah, you mentioned those thousands of documents. Those weren't made available even to the 9/11 Commission, but they now have been declassified. What did we learn about Saudi's involvement in the attacks? Can you give us some specific pieces of information that you say point to their direct involvement?
Yes, so there have been several names now of Saudi officials. These are Saudi government officials that had diplomatic credentials tied to the kingdom, that the kingdom sent over here to the United States. And they created a very toxic anti-American pro-jihadist program within the United States. And they ran it out of their Ministry of Islamic Affairs through the embassy in Washington, D.C., and through their consulate out in Los Angeles. And these individuals who are Saudi nationals on their payroll were the ones that gave the financial and logistical support to the 19 hijackers. At least 2 of them that came in through California, most likely all of them. And that is what this evidence supports through telephone records, through interviews, through investigative work that the FBI and the CIA did. We're talking thousands of pages. The investigation was secret for 10 years.
Wow.
So there's a lot there.
Now, I want to switch to the PGA Tour issue. Now, you recently wrote a letter to golfer Phil Mickelson and other American golfers who joined the new Saudi-backed golf league, saying that they have betrayed your families. Talk to us about that, any reaction that you've gotten, and really what you want to see happen here.
Right. So I'm just trying to sound the alarm here and tell these players, educate these players, that it is un-American to get into bed with the Saudis, to partner with a country that, like I said, now with these thousands of pages of evidence, and that it was their evil ideology that inspired the attacks. It was the kingdom's money that financed the rise of Al-Qaeda, that until there's a full accounting, until there's full responsibility for all of that, you are partnering with a country that Their number one export is oil. Number two is financing terrorism. And that has not been dealt with. And I think it's dangerous to partner with them, but I also think it's very un-American.
Terry, have you gotten any response from Mickelson or any of the other golfers? And they're being paid, for folks who haven't been following this, they're being paid hundreds of millions of dollars to associate themselves with the Kingdom's tour here.
Right. So those obscene amounts of monies, right? $200 million to Phil Mickelson. They've offered upwards of $1 billion, I believe, to some players that maybe have turned them down. The Kingdom here is just trying to buy respect. They're trying to improve their image. They're using sports, which sports is not intended to be used that way. It's called sports washing. They are trying to erase the history that we have with the Kingdom. And I have not heard from any of the players. Phil Mickelson did. I thought his words of sympathy were heartfelt, but then it falls hollow because he has no explanation for why he wants to be in bed with the Kingdom other than the money.
Yeah.
And so that's an admission. You're selling your soul to the Kingdom, and they're ruthless. When they don't need you anymore, you'll be cut, you'll be dropped, and they're hurting the PGA. And why would you turn your back on the PGA? The very entity that gave you your career and your stardom and all of that. Why would you turn your back on that?
Well, your crusade for justice is not over, and we're certainly going to be talking more about this golf story. And thank you for everything that you have done, Terry Strada, for being such a powerful advocate for our 9/11 families. Keep fighting, and thank you for being here.